The first kind of pro would be there isn't any pressure on you to make any money. What's up everyone, my name is Tato Hadebo. Welcome back to my channel once again. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're a very new subscriber here, thank you so much for coming to my channel. And if you're a long-time subscriber, welcome back. It's been a while since I've uploaded anything. It's just that it's been quite a busy time over the last couple of weeks. We've been quite busy, which is a very good thing. So I'm very happy with how things have kind of been going over the last couple of weeks for the business, which is why you haven't been seeing me much. But I'm back. I promise to, try and upload more frequently. I know I say that every single time I upload, but I suppose there's nothing else I can say. It's busy. And I think contributing to that is this YouTube channel. People that I've bumped into, that I've spoken to over the last while are saying that they are really happy with the content that I've been putting out. And because the feedback is so positive, I have to do my bit to be as frequent as I can. All right, so for today, I wanted to talk about maintaining a business while having a full-time job. That's the position that I'm in. And I think if you're watching this as well, you might be in the same position. And, there's a lot of things that one has to keep in mind in order for you to be able to do both of these things at the same time. A lot of challenges, of course. And, there's also a lot of really good things that come out of these. So I'm going to be speaking about both the good and the bad of running a business while maintaining your 9-to-5 job. When you have a 9-to-5 job, obviously that is a job that is sustaining you month to month. So it is very important for you to put as much attention to that as you possibly can, because without that job, you wouldn't be able to, live. So it's important that whatever job you're in, you pay as much attention to it and you give it the time that it deserves. I just want to put that out there as a first of all. Obviously, when you start a business, it's something that you want to do for yourself and you need to give it the attention that it also deserves. But your 9-to-5 has to, at the initial stages, it has to take preference. Okay, and that is basically what my first point is. It's that your attention is split between the two. So I think that obviously it goes without saying that when you are at work doing your 9-to-5, your attention has to be there during the time that you are contracted. All right, you can't be focusing on your business and then letting the responsibilities of your actual job to die, because if you let that become a habit or you let that keep happening, you'll find yourself maybe losing your job. And one thing that I will say, being somebody who is in this position, who has a 9-to-5 and a business, your business will not survive without you having a 9-to-5. All right. So let me put it like this: if I didn't have my 9-to-5 job, I wouldn't be able to fund my business. So in essence, the money that I'm making from my 9-to-5 job is able to give me the funds that I need in order to sustain my business up until a point where the business can sustain itself. So I'm a firm believer in keep your 9-to-5 for as long as you possibly can. Do not quit your job until you are, I would say, you have, let's say, 6 months of 6 months of income coming in. Let's say or let me rather put it like this: if you're able to match your salary over 6 months consecutively with your business, then I think it's safe enough for you to leave that 9-to-5 and then focus completely on your business. So the time being split is not going to happen anymore at that stage, obviously. So the first kind of disadvantage is your time has to be split between your 9 to 5 and your actual business itself. But that is something that you kind of have to deal with, because if you don't split your time and you focus more time on one thing, the other thing is going to die, and vice versa. So you need to be able to find that balance where you're splitting your time equally, so that nothing suffers. The second thing that I would say is you are limited in the amount of jobs or private jobs that you can do for your business. So for me, being a jewelry designer, I have a 9 to 5 job, so the amount of work that I can take on for my business is limited quite significantly, because I am not able to do as many jobs as I would like, because a lot of my time, majority of my time is spent at work, and I can only focus on my actual business when I come back from work in the evenings or on weekends. So that is also something that is a bit of a disadvantage. But as I say, the more you kind of find yourself in a rhythm, the more you'll see that you will be able to take on more jobs, if I can say that. So if you are able to say, okay, I arrive back at home at 5:30, for instance. If you work from 5:30 until, let's say, 11, and all you're doing at that time is focusing on your business, then it will grow, and you'll be able to make the money that I spoke about earlier on, where you're able to replace your salary, and then eventually you'll be able to leave the job and focus fully on your business. That is something that I think, as a business owner, if you start a business, that's what your ultimate goal would be, to be able to do, to leave your 9 to 5 job and then to focus fully on your business. That would be the second thing. Number 3, you work more hours than others. So again, that has to go with your time, right? So working more hours than others goes back to that thing that I said earlier on, where if you are arriving home, so you've just done now, you've worked from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon doing your 9 to 5. Now when you come back, you are now spending time doing your business, your passion, right? And as I said, if you're going to do that from, let's say, 5 o'clock until 11 o'clock, you have to do that in order for your business to grow. So you are going to, in essence, be working longer or more hours than other people. That's just the fact of the matter. If you don't do that and you don't give your business that attention that it needs, you'll end up finding that your business is not going to grow, and you might just eventually have to shut the doors. In my industry, or actually in any industry, let me not just conclude it to jewelry. For you to be able to grow, people have to have their attention on you. And the only way people are going to have their attention on you is if you keep working and you keep producing and putting your work out there so that people can see what you're doing. So if you do not do that in that time between 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock, you are going to lose people's attention, and that might just spell the end for your business. So those extra hours are things that you are most definitely going to have to do. I do that. I do not do it as often as I probably should, but I do put in more hours than I need to. Like, for instance, right now, it is in the afternoon. I've just come back from work and kind of putting in the hours that I need to do for my YouTube channel, along with any other work that I am doing that involves the making of jewelry. So that's another very important thing that might be seen as a disadvantage, but it is an advantage because your business will eventually reap the rewards from that. Okay, and then the fourth thing, you find yourself, you'll have less weekends. Okay, I'm not gonna say you're not gonna have any weekends. I think it is important for you to take a break on the weekends, or even if it's in the evenings. Do not work yourself obviously to like a zombie state, but you are gonna have to work on weekends. Okay, I was watching a video by a real estate agent in America, Ryan Serhant. He did a video about work-life balance, right? And something that has stuck with me from that video, he said, you need to put parts of your weekend in your weekdays, and you need to put parts of your weekdays in your weekends. right? So basically what it means is, although you are working Monday to Friday, that's your normal weekday, you need to have elements of your weekends in your weekday, right? So in other words, you need to work on the weekends, because if you don't do that, there isn't a rhythm that you keep going. You can't just solely say Friday, as soon as I knock off, I'm done and I'm only going to see work again on Monday. No, especially if you're a business owner, you need to be able to do the work on the weekends as well, to ensure that, as I said, the rhythm can keep going and your business will grow. And the same thing, as you said, elements of your weekends must come into your weekdays. So if you enjoy, for instance, on weekends watching sports or going and, you know, meeting up with friends, or for instance, I enjoy playing golf. So if I enjoy playing golf on weekends, I can maybe do a little bit of playing golf during the week, but it mustn't be as much as it would be on the weekend. So that's why it's elements of both of those time periods have to kind of mesh into one another, and then you'll see that the work-life balance will work out for you. But weekends are very important for you to work if you are an entrepreneur, or if you're somebody who has a 9-to-5 job, because those are the times where you aren't expected to be at the office, right? So you can spend those times kind of knuckling down and doubling down, making sure that the work can at least happen mostly during that time. But also, as I said, it isn't all negatives. There are some good elements to this as well. For instance, the first kind of pro would be there isn't any pressure on you to make any money. So because there isn't any pressure on you to make any money, I suppose you don't feel the weight of trying to make money so that you can survive. If all you're doing is the one job that you're doing, let's say you are running your business full time, that pressure of you kind of, I have to make the X amount of sales this month in order for me to be able to pay my bond, in order for me to be able to, buy groceries, in order for me to, pour petrol in my car, pay for school fees, whatever the case might be. That pressure is not on you if you're somebody who has a 9-to-5 job, because at least those expenses are taken care of using your salary, right? So that pressure is kind of, decreased a little bit. But that doesn't mean that you must relax. Obviously, pressure is good. There's a thing that I've heard, pressure either builds diamonds or bursts pipes. So pressure is important, so that you also keep yourself on your toes and you do not get relaxed. But if push comes to shove and you see that, hey man, this month was a very terrible month, at least you've got your salary. So that pressure is taken away, which is, an amazing thing. Number 2, I would say, is it teaches you discipline. So in order for you to be able to juggle both of these things at the same time, you have to wake up earlier than most people and you have to go to bed later than most people, because when you wake up early, you can spend the first maybe 2-3 hours of the morning working on your business, and then you're in the car, you get to work, and then you do your office job up until the hours that you need to do them, and then you can head back to your business and then continue the work. So that, in order for you to do that, you need to be a very disciplined person. I don't think anyone would be able to do anything that takes as much time as that, or that is as specific as that, without being disciplined. And again, the discipline will come in with the weekends. A lot of people want to relax on the weekends and all they want to do is relax. But if you have the discipline to, you know what, I'm actually going to do 6 hours on Saturday and then maybe 3 hours on Sunday. If my friends call me, I can say, guys, I'll catch you guys at another time, or I'll come later on. That takes discipline. And running a business and having a job really does show, or really does instill that discipline within you. Also, with doing your job, your 9-to-5 job, the discipline that you are getting from running your business also gets transferred into that, because you're able to do, you find yourself, you're able to do your job a lot better, especially because you are responsible for another aspect. You're responsible for an aspect that is fully on you, which is your business. then your 9 to 5 will be a lot easier to maintain. So the discipline is one thing that I see has kind of been instilled within me. And then the third thing, which is a pro, is your job gives you a wider network of people that you can work with, especially if your job is in line with the business that you're in. I'm lucky enough that I'm in that position. So I'm a jewelry design lecturer, and my business is jewelry design and manufacture. So the people that I'm meeting within my teaching and within my profession as a lecturer, I can make those connections, which will then a bit down the line will help my business out. So I'm lucky enough that I'm in that position. Obviously, there are other people who, the business that they've started isn't in line with what they're doing. But in that case, it just means you would have to basically take whatever value you get from your job, whether it means, you're able to do presentations. Let's say your job is a very presentation heavy job. That skill, you can transfer it into your business. So if you are approaching, a client or another company that you might want to collaborate with, at least the skills that you've learned from your job, you can transfer it to your business, even if it's not directly linked. So if you are lucky enough to be in the position I'm in, it makes the future work that you'll do a lot easier in that instance. So I'm very happy with that idea. The last thing, having a 9 to 5 job and maintaining a business at the same time gives you the opportunity to grow your business at your own pace, right? Remember I said earlier on that there isn't any pressure for you to be able to make money. So the same thing applies with, there isn't any pressure on you to grow the business. Because sometimes you get kind of taught that, start a business, you'll be able to make money, it'll be easy, you just have to, do A, B, and C, whatever the case might be. And then once you get into the business itself, you realize that this is actually a lot of work and it's not as easy as it's been portrayed. And now that you are in this thing, let's say you are in it and you do not have a backup plan, let's say you do not have, a 9 to 5 job, now you are forced to be in this thing. And in order for you to, let's say, make ends meet, your business has to grow to a certain level for you to be able to maintain all the things that you might have acquired. So having a 9 to 5 helps in that I can kind of scope and see, okay, I have this opportunity over here which will help my business to grow, but I don't have to rush into it, because me rushing into it, I might make mistakes and my business might suffer from that if I kind of go all in, because I'm trying to make sure that my business grows. Whereas now you can kind of sit back and in essence kind of take your time knowing what it is that you are trying to do. So taking your time really does help you understand how business is actually done and how you are able to leverage from that to be able to make it grow. Nothing worse than, I can't even imagine if I didn't have my 9 to 5 and now I really have to make X amount every month so that I can afford, my bond and my car payment and groceries every month and all that. I'd be in the ground, and my business would become like more of a chore more than anything. As much as, this is my passion, and I hope it never gets to a point where I think that it's a chore. If you are forced to do something, whether you love the industry or not, if you're forced to do it, there's a high probability that you'll end up looking at it as a chore and something that you do not necessarily want to do. And then there goes the love that you have for that business. So luckily for me, I do not have that pressure. I can kind of take my time. Obviously, not take your time to the point where you become stagnant and things just slow down, but you can take your time and explore other avenues of how you can make the business grow. And that is a very fortunate place to be in. And yeah, I'm very thankful for an opportunity like that. And I think another thing I kind of want to add, which is sort of a bonus, is the money that I do make from my business, I do not rely on it. So since I started my business, I've never touched any of the money that I've made for my own personal gain. Every cent that I've made has gone directly into the business. All of it. And that's also another amazing thing that many people do not have the luxury of. So if you are in entrepreneurship fully, you have to obviously take a salary from that so that you can live. I'm lucky enough that I haven't had to do that. My job has been able to sustain me, and everything else, all the money that is made goes into the business, and then the business eventually, that's why I can make, at some stage I'll be able to make a big purchase, because I know that I've made enough money for me to take that money and to make a big purchase. That is also a very great place to be in, and I'm really thankful for that. At some stage, I am gonna leave my 9-to-5 job and focus solely on my business. But as I said, I will only do that once I see that I have got, consistently for, I'd say, a minimum of 6 months. If I can match my salary for 6 months consecutively, then I will start to consider, okay, maybe this is a good time for me to step out and to focus fully on the business. And I like to look at it in this way: me leaving my 9-to-5 to focus fully on my business means somebody else who is just as talented as me, and maybe even more talented, can take the job that I have, and then they can start to build themselves. And if they build themselves, then obviously their family also benefits. And then with me starting my own or going fully into my own business, I wouldn't be able to do everything myself. So I'll also be taking on other people that I'll hire, and then more families are going to be built. And that's the whole point of entrepreneurship. You become an entrepreneur to be able to help other people grow while you are also growing. Everyone grows together. Yeah, that's basically my views on maintaining a business while having a full-time job. Yeah, I hope you guys found some value in this video. If you did, please don't forget to like the video down below, comment, share it, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we will chat again in the next one. Peace.